Hello students, how are you doing? Yes, this is your Dr. Vantari Shiva. In this video, we are going to cover the previous year NEET questions which we have already started the part 1 of kinematics motion in a straight line. This one is the second part of it. Okay, so if you want to check the previous one, you can go and check it in the description below. Okay, next the question 19 is saying that a particle moving along x-axis has acceleration f at time t is given by this much, where f naught and t are constants. Now he has given the boundary conditions also, so you just need to find out the particle's velocity. How do you find that? So generally, you know, acceleration a is equal to dv by dt. So here he has given acceleration as f. Let us just take it as given. So dv is equal to f dt. If you integrate on both sides, you'll get a velocity. That's what he's asking for, isn't it? Now, what is f here? F is nothing but f naught into 1 minus t by t integral into dt. Now, he is asking that when time is going from 0 to some capital T. Okay. And what about velocity? Velocity is, let us say, initially particle has 0 velocity. At time t is equal to 0, 0 is the velocity, and at time t, let us say velocity is v. That's what we are finding here. Let us say vx is asking for. Okay. Now, if you integrate dv, integral dv is nothing but v. So, if you substitute the limits 0 to vx is equal to f naught is a constant, integral 1 minus t by t dt is nothing but 1 minus t by t dt. We will substitute the limits after integration. So, f naught into integral dt is nothing but t. Okay, and integral t 1 by t is actually as it is. T integration is nothing but t square by 2. Alright, so limits are from 0 to t, and f naught into, if you substitute upper limit, you will get t, and if you substitute upper limit in this one, you will get t square by 2t, and if you substitute lower limit in any of these, you will get 0. Okay, now f naught into t minus t square, 1t, another t gets cancelled here, t minus t by 2. T minus t by 2 is nothing but half of t, isn't it? So f naught 1 minus 1 by 2 is nothing but half, so f naught t by 2. So which option is correct here? Option C. Clear? Guys, if you have any doubts, you can let me know in the comment box. We will discuss them in the next video. Okay, we are going to have one more video on this motion in a straight line. Okay, yes. So motion of a particle is given by the equation s is equal to 3t square, as given like this. The value of acceleration of the particle at t is equal to 1 second is. So just you need to find out the value of acceleration. So first of all, s is given as 3t cube 7t square plus 14t plus 8. Now if you differentiate this with respect to time, you will get a velocity. Okay, differentiate this displacement with respect to time, then you get 3 into 3 is nothing but 9. T cube differentiation is 3t square, 3 3s are 9 t square plus 7 into t square differentiation 2, so 14 t plus 14, differentiation of t is nothing but 1, and differentiation of a constant number is 0. Now acceleration a at t is equal to 1 second he is asking for, so just find out acceleration. Now differentiation of v with respect to time will be giving you the acceleration. So 9 into t square differentiation is what? 2t. So 9 into 2t is nothing but 18t plus 14 t differentiation is 1, and the differentiation of a constant is 0. Now at time t is equal to 1 second, 18 into 1 is 18 plus 14. So that is nothing but 18 plus 10, 28. 28 plus 4 is 32. 32 meter per second square is the acceleration. Isn't it simple? Yes. Now the particle x of a particle, the position x of a particle varies with time t as given by, the acceleration will be 0 at time t is equal to. So you need to find acceleration equal to 0, then you get time value. That's what is asking for, isn't it? Now x is given, that is a t square minus b t cube. So just differentiate this with respect to time, you get velocity. So 2at minus 3b t square. Now acceleration is nothing but, so if you differentiate this once again with respect to time, then you get acceleration 2a. So don't get confused with this a and that a. So for that I have taken a dash as the acceleration now. Okay, minus 3b T square differentiation is 2t. Okay, so let me write it directly, 6bt. Okay, so now he is saying that what is the time, I mean at what time acceleration will become 0. So equate acceleration is equal to 0, then you get a time value. So 2a is equal to 6bt. So now 2 1s are 2 3s are. So time is equal to a by 3b. That is the answer. A by 3b, option A is correct. Clear? Yes. Next, the acceleration of a particle is increasing linearly with time t as bt. So let us say acceleration is equal to bt. The particle starts from origin. Origin means s is equal to 0, or you can say x is equal to 0 with initial velocity v naught. Okay. Next, the distance traveled by the particle in time t is given by. So you need to find distance traveled by the particle in time t. Now generally you just need to take a is equal to bt and integrate it, so that you will get velocity, and integrate it once again, then you get distance. Okay. So now a is equal to bt. So dv by dt is nothing but vt. So dv is equal to bt dt. Integrate on both sides, you get integral dv is nothing but v. So here b is a constant, integral t dt is nothing but t square by 2. Now let us take integration constant as c. Okay. Now he said that at a time the particle starts from origin with initial velocity is v naught, and I mean that means what, at a time t is equal to 0, s is equal to 0 and v is equal to v naught. Just substitute that, you will get v is equal to v naught and b by 2 into time value is actually 0 initially and is equal to c plus c. So c value is nothing but v naught, isn't it? Just substitute this in this equation, then you get velocity. Velocity v is equal to bt square by 2 plus v naught. Alright, now if you take v is equal to ds by dt and integrate on both sides, you get ds is equal to v naught plus vt square by 2 into dt. Integrate on both sides. Okay, now integration ds, yes. So v naught is a constant, integral dt is nothing but t, plus b by 2 is constant, integral t square d, integral t square is nothing but t cube by 3 plus c. Okay, now initially he has given that at time t is equal to 0, s is equal to 0, v is equal to v naught. So now what about at time t is equal to 0, s is equal to 0. Just take this and substitute here, then you get 0 is equal to v naught t, v naught into 0 plus this is also 0, isn't it? 0 cube, so that term also becomes 0, so plus c. So every term is 0, so c is equal to 0 there. Understand? Now just substitute this here, then you get s value, distance, that is v naught t plus b t cube by 6. So which one is correct here? V naught t plus 1 by 6 bt cube. Clear now? Yes. Now a particle moves along a straight line such that its displacement at any time is given by s is equal to this much, the velocity when the acceleration is 0. So you need to find the velocity when acceleration becomes 0. Okay, let us find the velocity first. Velocity is equal to, if you differentiate this with respect to time, you will get velocity t cube, differentiation 3t square minus 60 square 12t plus 3t differentiation 3. Now differentiate this with respect to time once again. A is equal to 3t square, 6t minus 12, t differentiation is 1. So anyway 3 is a constant number, so it doesn't have any differentiation, anyway 0. So A is equal to 60 minus 12, and he said when acceleration is equal to 0, 60 is equal to 12, 6 1s are 6 2s are, so just a minute, t is equal to 2 seconds. Alright, now just take this t is equal to 2 and substitute here, then you get velocity when acceleration is 0, isn't it? Now 3 into 2 square, 2 square means 4, 3 4s are 12 minus 12 into 2, 24 plus 3. Okay, now here 12 plus 5 is nothing but 15, 12 plus 3 is nothing but 15, 15 minus 24 is minus 9 meter per second. So what is the answer here? Option C. Clear now? Next, so next concept is nothing but kinematic equations for uniformly as accelerated motion. So when the acceleration is constant, we can use equations of motion. What are those equations of motion? V is equal to u plus at, S is equal to ut plus half at square, and v square minus u square is equal to 2as. These are called equations of motion, and you can apply them only when acceleration is a constant. Okay, let us start taking the questions on this. A ball is thrown vertically downwards. Very good. Vertically downwards with a velocity of 20 meter per second. Initial velocity is 20 meter per second from the top of a tower. So let us say there is a tower here. Okay, so this is the ground level now. Okay, now it hits the ground after some time. Let us say it has taken some time t, and it has reached the ground with the velocity. When it reaches here, the velocity v is equal to 80 meter per second. The height of the tower is, that's what he's asking for, isn't it? So what information we can use here? You have got and actually this is a kind of motion under gravity problem. So he has given acceleration due to gravity is g is equal to 10 meter per second square, and now so this guy will be experiencing a gravitational acceleration that is equal to minus g, minus 10 meter per second square. Okay, now so in this kind of problems, motion under gravity problems, let me tell you one sign convention here. So let us say a particle is actually going up, then you have to take displacement as positive, velocity as positive, but acceleration is always a negative. Doesn't matter whether it is going up or down. So if suppose a body is actually going down, or maybe particle is going down, then you can take s is equal to negative and v is equal to negative, but acceleration is always a negative here also. Okay, so this is the sign convention we need to follow for motion under gravity problems. Understand? Now here, so you have got u, initial velocity you have got, final velocity you have got, and acceleration you know. So which equation you can take so that you can find out the height of this tower. The height of the tower is nothing but the distance traveled by this ball, isn't it? So let us take the equation, third equation of motion. So v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So what is v square? Finally when it reaches the ground, 80 whole square. Initially what is the velocity? 20 whole square. So 2 into acceleration is nothing but minus g, you can say minus 10, and s is nothing but the height of the tower. Okay, h, or maybe s here, yes we have taken here, isn't it? Okay, fine. Now 80 whole square is nothing but 6400. 20 whole square 400 is equal to minus 20 into s. So 6400 minus 400 is 6000 is equal to minus 20 s. So this 0, that 0 gets cancelled. 2 ones are 2, 300s are. Okay, so s is equal to minus 300 meters. Why it is minus? Because the particle is coming down. But we can, he's asking about the height of the tower, so that is nothing but 300 meters. Okay, what is the answer here? D. Clear now? Next, a stone falls freely under gravity. So there is a stone which is falling freely under gravity. Okay, it covers distances h1, h2 and h3 in first 5, next 5 and next to next 5 seconds respectively. Okay, now the relation between h1 and h2 and h3. So let us say the particle has covered h1 distance in 5 seconds. So let us say it has the particle has reached this location in t is equal to 5 seconds. Very good. In the next 5 seconds, that means time will be 10 seconds by then. So that will be h2 it will be reaching. Next, in the next 5 seconds, 5 plus 10, 5 plus 5 plus 5. So time will be 15 seconds. So it will reach a height h3 then. Okay, that's what has been given. Now, so the distance traveled by it in the next last 5 seconds is h3. That's how it is. h1 in first 5 seconds, h2 in next 5 seconds, h3 in the next 5 seconds. Understand? Now the relation between h1, h2, h3. So one thing is for sure, he is when the stone is falling freely, whenever there is a free fall, definitely you have to take initial velocity is 0. You are not giving any velocity. That is the meaning of it. Understand? It covers distances h1. So let us apply s is equal to ut plus half at square. Okay. So what is the distance covered in the first 5 seconds? h1, that is equal to u. U is 0, so that term becomes 0. Half A value is nothing but let us take actually you can take -10, but it's not necessary here. So we're talking about heights only, so it will be all right here. Now t square is nothing but 5 square, isn't it? So 2 ones are 2 5s are. So h1 is equal to 5 into 5 into 5, or you can say 125. Okay. Since he has not given a g value, you can keep it as it is also, no problem. Okay. So I have taken 10. It's all right. You can take 10 in all the cases. Now in the second time, I mean in the in the say next 5 seconds, the particle has reached h2 distance. Okay. So next 5 seconds, t is equal to 10 seconds now. Okay. So what about the height it has covered from the top? That is h1 plus h2. That is the distance traveled, isn't it? So h1 plus h2, and initial velocity is 0. So the first term becomes 0, and half into acceleration. Acceleration is what? Again, let us take 10 into t square. Time square is nothing but 10 square. 10 square. So 2 ones are 2 5s are. So 5 into 100, 500. Okay, that is h1 plus h2. Now next 5 seconds, that means total time it has taken is 15 seconds, and how much distance it must have traveled? 3 distances, h1 plus h2 plus h3, that is equal to ut 0 plus half at square, a 10, t square 15 square. Okay. Just a minute. Yes, h1 plus h2 plus h3 is equal to 2 ones are 2 5s are. So 15, just keep it as 15 whole square. 15 whole square is nothing but 225. So just keep it aside, no problem. So now let me take this as equation 1. Let us say this is equation 2. Let us say this is equation 3. So if I find out 2 minus 1, I'll get h2. So h1 you know, h2 I want to find out. 2 minus 1, that is nothing but h1 plus h2 minus h1 is equal to 500 minus 125. That is equal to 325. All right. I mean 500, 375, sorry, 375. Okay, so that is equal to h1, and h1 gets cancelled. h2 is 375. Now what about h1? I mean if I take 3 minus 2, I'll get the value of h3. h1 plus h2 plus h3 minus h1 plus h2. So if you look at this h1 plus h2, this h1 plus h2 gets cancelled. You get 225 into 5 minus 500. Okay, so just keep it aside. So this is h3 is equal to 225. If I take 5 common, I'll get 225 minus 100, isn't it? So it is 5 into 225 minus 100, 125. Just let us keep all of them in this fashion now. So 125 2s are 250, 125 3s are 375. So let me write it as 125 into 3. Okay, so if you look at this ratios, I mean h1 is equal to h2 by 3. If I take h2 by 3, I'll get 125, isn't it? h2 by 3 is nothing but 125. If I take h3 by 5, I'll get 125. So that's what h1 is equal to h2 by 3 and h3 by 5. So this is correct option. Clear? Yes. Next, a boy standing at the top of a tower of 20 meters height, okay, drops a stone. So dropping a stone means you have to take initial velocity is 0, and the height of the tower is let us say h is equal to 20 meters. Okay, now assuming z is equal to 10 meter per second square, the velocity with which it hits the ground. So let us say this is the tower. Now when you are dropping the stone, initially it is having initial velocity 0. final velocity is what you need to find. Okay, a is equal to 10 meter per second square. So basically if you just take s is equal to v square means c square is equal to 2as, so then you get final velocity. What is v square minus u square is equal to 2as? V square, you don't know. U square 0, 2 into a value is what? 10. And what about s value here? S is nothing but the height that has covered in height of the tower. That is nothing but the distance covered, isn't it? So 20. 2 into 10, 20, 20, 20 is a 400. V square is equal to 400, V is equal to 20 meter per second. Which option is correct here? B. Very good. Next, a ball is dropped from a high rise platform at t is equal to 0. Okay, from rest. So rest means u is equal to 0. Now after 6 seconds another ball is thrown. Okay, thrown downwards. This time after t is equal to 6 seconds, another ball is thrown from the same platform with speed v. Now the initial velocity is v now. Okay, now the two balls meet at a t is equal to 18 seconds. So I mean at t is equal to 18 seconds, whatever the distance it will travel, the same amount of distance it will also travel. That is the idea. Okay, now what is the value of v? Let us find that out. Now yes, let us find out s from this equation. So s is equal to ut plus half at square. So initially time t is equal to 0, velocity is equal to 0. So now s is equal to u is equal to 0 na? Plus half. What is the acceleration here? That is nothing but 10. What about time? Time is 18 seconds. In time is equal to 18 seconds, it has covered this much of s is the distance. Okay, so that is 18 square. S is equal to 5 into 18 square. Just keep it aside. Okay, next. Now after t is equal to 6 seconds, it has been started. And now in t is equal to 18 seconds, whatever the distance it has covered. So what is the time actually that has taken for this second ball? That is 18 minus 6, isn't it? Time it has traveled is 18 minus 6 is 12 seconds. And what about velocity? Initial velocity is v, and a is equal to 10. Okay, meter per second square. Let us apply s is equal to ut plus half at square once again. Then you'll get the distance should be the same, isn't it? So it should be s only. U is equal to v into, what is the time here? 12. That plus half into 10 into t square is what? 12 square. Now I can say clearly one thing, both of them are reaching at the same location. That means s, both s are same. I can equate 1 and 2 to get the value of velocity. Okay, 5 into 18 square is equal to v into 12 plus half into 10 into 12 square. If I take this to other side, I'll get 2 ones are 2 5s are. So v into 12 or 12v is equal to 5 into 18 square minus 5 into 12 square, isn't it? So 5 is common. So 18 square is nothing but 324 and 12 square is nothing but 144. Okay, 5 into, so this is nothing but 324 minus 100 is 224. 224 minus 4, 220. 220 minus 40, 180. Okay, 12 ones are like you can say 6 2s are 6 30s are. Okay, 2 ones are 2 15s are. So v is equal to 15 5s are 75 meter per second. That is the correct answer. Very good. Next, a particle starts just a minute, sorry. A particle starts its motion from the rest under the action of a constant force. So when the force is constant, force is generally is equal to ma. So mass is also constant, we consider, and therefore acceleration should be a constant thing. Okay, when acceleration is constant, you can easily apply the equations of motion. Very good. If the distance covered in the first 10 seconds is s1, Okay, in first 10 seconds is s1, and s is equal to s1 there. Okay, and that covered and the distance covered in the first 20 seconds, that means t is equal to 20 seconds, and let us say distance is s2. What will be the relation between s1 and s2? So I mean, out of curiosity, we simply say that I mean, time has become double, so distance also will become double. No, it is not the criteria. We need to apply this equations of motion. Let us see. So s is equal to ut plus half at square. Particle is starting from rest, so initially u is also equal to 0. Okay, so let us apply s is equal to ut plus half at square. What is s here? S only. U initial velocity is 0, and half a value is nothing but a only, and t square. What is t square? That is a 10 square. That is a s1 here. S1 is equal to 100 a by 2, so that is a 50 a. Okay, now let us take this information and substitute in the same equation. S is equal to s2, initial velocity is 0, half, acceleration is a, and time is nothing but 20 whole square. 400 by 2 is nothing but 200 a. Okay, so now if I take the ratio, or you can say, let me write this as 4 into 50 a. Okay, 50 a is nothing but s1. So s2 is equal to 4s1. This is the relation between s2 and s1. Option B is correct. Clear? Next. So a particle moves in a straight line with a constant acceleration. So acceleration is constant, very good, and it's a motion in a straight line. Okay. Now it changes velocity from 10 meter per second to 20 meter per second. Okay. While it is passing a distance of 135 meters in time t seconds. Okay. So what is the value of time? So he is asking about this. So let us find out v square minus u square is equal to 2as. From this I can get acceleration. Okay. So what is the v square? Final velocity is 20 whole square 400. Initial velocity 10 whole square 100. 2 into what is the acceleration? You don't know. You need to find. What is s here? This is nothing but 135. Okay. So 400 minus 100 is 300 is equal to 2 into 135 into a. So 2 ones are 2 150s are. All right. Now 15th table. 15 nines are 15 tens are. Okay. Acceleration is equal to 10 by 9 meter per second square. But what is asking for? Time. So you can take v is equal to u plus at to get time. Final velocity 20. Initial velocity 10. Acceleration 10 by 9. Time you need to find. So 10t by 9 is equal to 20 minus 10 is nothing but 10. 10 ones are 10 ones are. T is equal to 9 seconds. Which option is correct? B. Next, the distance traveled by a particle starting from the rest. Starting from rest means E is equal to 0. Okay, and moving with an acceleration a is equal to 4 by 3 meter per second square in the third second. So he is saying that you need to find out the distance traveled in the third second. He is not asking in 3 seconds. He is asking distance traveled in the third second. So generally it is nothing but distance traveled in 3 seconds minus the distance traveled in the 2 seconds. That will be the distance traveled in the third second. Okay, I hope you know it. Now let us find out S3. What is S3 here? I mean distance in 3 seconds. Okay. Let us apply ut plus half at square here. U is 0, half. Acceleration is 4 by 3, and time you don't know. Let us say t square. Now that is nothing but 8 by 2 by 3 t square. Oh, time has been given here, so that is 3 seconds. Okay, 3 square. So 3 ones are 3 3. I mean 1 3 will be cancelled. 2 3s are 6. That is the distance traveled in 3 seconds. What about distance traveled in 2 seconds? That is equal to ut again 0 plus half. Acceleration is 4 by 3, and time here is 2 seconds. 2 square, isn't it? 4. 2 ones are 2 twos are. So S2 is equal to 4 2s are 8 by 3. Okay, that's it, no? So what about distance traveled between S3 minus S2 is equal to 6 minus 8 by 3. Okay, so here LCM is 3. 3 6 are 18 minus 8, that is nothing but 10. 18 minus 8, 10 by 3 meters, isn't it? Yes, that's correct answer. Next, two bodies A and B are dropped from heights of 16 and 25 meters. Okay, so a body is actually thrown from a height of 16 meters, very good. And now another body is thrown at a height of from the height of 25 meters. Okay, now the ratio of time taken by them to reach the ground. Generally you are dropping them, that means initially u is equal to 0, then you can apply s is equal to ut plus half at square. So what is the distance traveled? That is let us say height. Okay, so h is equal to 0 plus half a t square. So time t is equal to, he is asking about the time taken ratios, isn't it? So time is equal to 2h by a is equal to g here, by the way. So let me take a is equal to g here. So 2h by g under root, isn't it? So now he is asking about the ratio of ta by tb. Then what will you get? 2ha by g. G is constant, isn't it? Now 2hb by g. This g and that g gets cancelled. This 2, that 2 gets cancelled. You get a root of ha by hb. What is the height of the height of the first tower? That is 16, or you can say distance traveled with the first body A, that is 16, divided by second body distance is nothing but 25. So it is 4 by 5, isn't it? Yes, correct. Next one, a ball is thrown vertically upward. It's going vertical upwards now. Okay, it has a speed of 10 meter per second when it has reached half of its maximum height. When it reaches maximum height, velocity becomes 0. Half of the height, that is the total distance, is h. Okay, when it reaches half of the height, h by 2, it has a velocity v is equal to 10 meter per second. Let us say that is v dash. Understand? Now let us take the acceleration as g, 10 meter per second square. Now, so let us say if I consider this as initial velocity, this is the final velocity, let us apply v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So what is the final velocity? 0. Initial velocity will become 10 meter per second here. I am considering only this case, amma. Okay, u becomes 10 meter per second. What about acceleration? That is a is equal to 10 meter per second square. And now distance s is equal to h by 2, isn't it? It's covering only half of the distance from here. Okay, let us apply all the things in this equation. Final velocity 0, initial velocity 10 whole square 100 is equal to 2 into acceleration is 10, and s is equal to h by 2. These two, that 2 gets cancelled. H is equal to minus 100 by 10 is equal to minus 10 meters. So minus actually is telling you about it's going in the opposite direction. Okay, so 10 meters should be the answer. Clear? Yes. So that's all about this video. We'll cover the remaining questions in the part 3 of kinematic session, motion in a straight line. Okay, thank you very much for your watching, and kindly subscribe and share it to your friends so that it can reach to the maximum students. Thank you very much, guys, once again.